In the flashing lights of the 1970s disco era, one woman's voice rose above the crowd, telling the world a simple, powerful truth: I will survive. This is the story of Gloria Gaynor, the woman whose voice became an anthem of strength, resilience, and hope. Gloria Gaynor was born Gloria Fowles on September 7, 1943, in Newark, New Jersey. Growing up in a modest home, she discovered her love for music at an early age. Her father, a professional musician, filled the house with jazz and soul, while her mother encouraged Gloria's natural talent for singing. As a teenager, Gloria dreamed of standing on big stages, but life, at first, had other plans. Money was tight, and opportunities were rare. Yet she never let go of her dream. In the 1960s, Gloria began singing with local bands in New Jersey, performing in small clubs and lounges. Her voice was rich, soulful, and instantly recognizable. By the early 1970s, she had signed her first recording contract and released a few singles, but fame did not come overnight. The road to success was filled with rejections, long nights, and moments of doubt. Still, Gloria kept going. She knew her time would come. That time arrived in 1975 when Gloria released her debut album, Never Can Say Goodbye. The title track soared to the top of the dance charts, making her one of the first artists to bring disco music into mainstream popularity. People all over the world were dancing to her music. But Gloria's biggest moment was still ahead. In 1978, she recorded a song that would change her life forever, I Will Survive. The story behind the song is as powerful as the song itself. At the time, Gloria was recovering from a serious spinal injury caused by a fall on stage. She had undergone surgery and was told she might never perform again. In addition, she was going through personal struggles, including the end of a relationship. When she first read the lyrics to I Will Survive, she knew they spoke directly to her life. The words, "At first I was afraid, I was petrified," weren't just lyrics. They were her truth. Released in October 1978, I Will Survive exploded onto the charts, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1979. It won the Grammy Award for Best Disco Recording in 1980, the only year that category ever existed. But more than awards, the song became an anthem, not just for Gloria, but for anyone facing hardship. It was embraced by the women's liberation movement, by people overcoming illness, and by the LGBTQ+ community as a declaration of resilience. The 1980s brought both challenges and triumphs. Disco began to fade from mainstream radio, replaced by rock and new wave. Gloria faced financial difficulties and personal struggles, including a painful divorce. Yet she never stopped performing. She toured internationally, recorded gospel music, and found strength in her Christian faith. In interviews, Gloria often said that her survival was not just physical, it was spiritual and emotional too. In the decades that followed, I Will Survive lived on in movies, commercials, weddings, and sports events. From soccer stadiums to Broadway shows, its message crossed generations. Gloria herself became a living symbol of perseverance. She continued to tour into her 70s, performing for fans who had been with her since the disco days, as well as younger audiences discovering her for the first time. Beyond the music, Gloria dedicated herself to charity work, supporting organizations that help victims of domestic violence, people living with HIV/AIDS, and disadvantaged youth. She used her fame not just to entertain, but to inspire and give back. In 2019, at the age of 76, Gloria Gaynor released a gospel album called Testimony, which won the Grammy Award for Best Roots Gospel Album in 2020. It was her first Grammy win in decades, proving once again that her talent and spirit remain timeless. Today, Gloria Gaynor stands as more than a singer. She is a storyteller, a survivor, and a beacon of hope. Her life reminds us that challenges are not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. She once said, "I just kept on singing. I just kept on surviving." And that's what I want people to take away. Whatever you're going through, you can make it. As the lights dim on another stage, and the final notes of I Will Survive echo into the night, we are reminded that Gloria Gaynor's legacy is not just in her music, but in the lives she has touched. Her voice will keep inspiring people long after the last disco ball stops spinning. Gloria Gaynor's journey was never just about fame and music. It was about transformation, both for herself and for the people who listened to her. While the public saw the glitter, sequins, and flashing lights, behind the scenes there was a woman constantly fighting battles no one could see. One of the most remarkable, yet less known, moments in her life happened in the late 1970s, right at the height of disco. Gloria had been performing at New York's legendary Beacon Theater when she slipped off the stage and fell into an orchestra pit. The accident left her with a fractured spine. Most people, faced with such an injury, would have considered ending their career. But Gloria? She went through months of recovery, wearing a back brace under her costumes, determined to keep performing. She once said, "The stage is where I feel alive. If I can stand, I can sing." This determination became the fuel behind "I Will Survive." What many people don't know is that the song was originally released as the B-side of another single called Substitute. Radio DJs, however, fell in love with the message and started playing it instead. Within weeks, it overtook the charts. That twist of fate, a B-side becoming a global anthem, mirrors Gloria's own story, underestimated at first, but impossible to ignore. Throughout the 1980s, Gloria traveled the world. She performed in Europe, Asia, South America, places where English wasn't even the main language, yet everyone knew the words, "I Will Survive." Fans told her personal stories: a woman in Brazil who played the song every day during cancer treatment, a man in Germany who said it helped him through the loss of his wife, young people in America who found strength to come out to their families. Each story reminded Gloria that her music had a purpose far beyond entertainment. Her influence even reached the world of sports. "I Will Survive" became a rallying song for soccer teams, played in stadiums before major matches. In France, it was adopted by the national football team during the 1998 World Cup, and when they won, millions of people were singing Gloria's words in the streets of Paris. Away from the spotlight, Gloria faced her own personal evolution. She divorced her husband of many years, a difficult decision that forced her to rebuild her life once again. She turned to her faith for strength, becoming a born-again Christian in the mid-1980s. This shift didn't end her disco career, but gave her a new perspective. She began recording gospel albums alongside dance hits, showing the world that an artist could have multiple dimensions. Another fascinating chapter came in the 1990s when disco made a nostalgic comeback. Gloria was suddenly in high demand again, appearing on television shows, performing at retro-themed festivals, and collaborating with younger artists who grew up on her music. She proved that she wasn't just a star of the past, she was a bridge between generations. Her ability to adapt extended into the 2000s and beyond. While many artists of her era slowed down, Gloria embraced new opportunities. She sang for charity events, appeared on reality shows, and even published a memoir titled "We Will Survive" in 2013, which shared not only her story, but also 40 real-life stories from fans whose lives were changed by her song. This book became a testament to the power of music to heal and unite. In recent years, Gloria has been honored with countless awards, including induction into the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry for "I Will Survive," recognizing it as a cultural treasure. She has performed for audiences of all ages, from high-profile galas to small community events. Even in her late 70s, she continues to sing with the same energy she had decades ago, her voice carrying the same fire. When asked about the secret to her longevity, Gloria often says it's a mix of faith, gratitude, and staying true to herself. She laughs about still loving the sparkle of a good sequin dress, but she's quick to remind people that survival is not just about enduring hardships, it's about embracing joy. "You don't just survive by holding on," she says. "You survive by living fully." And so Gloria Gaynor's story is not just the tale of a disco queen. It's the journey of a woman who turned pain into power, a song into a symbol, and a career into a lifelong mission to uplift others. Long after the disco ball stops spinning, her voice will echo, reminding us that no matter what life throws at us, we will survive.